Bienvenue tout le monde à la cuisine
Connexion.
Cast de
le pod. Hey, it worked.
How's our French, y'all? Okay, we've been practicing.
How is my French? Is it good for you?
Your French is perfect.
Perfecto. Or like that's French. That's Italian.
I feel like that's Italian. You just gotta Amir.
Yeah. What?
That's your French. That's how you say
Amir? What? That sounds like my mom calling me from across the room.
You gotta add the R.
R.
Yeah. Like, how would you say my name in French?
Sara. Why am I sweating so much?
I'm literally sweating.
We're profusely sweating. We should have like towels next to us while we're recording this thing.
Okay, for real though, like, welcome back everybody to another episode of the Cousin
Connection
podcast. So this week we have a whole new set of topics. Mm-hmm. Amir and I are matching again.
Like I said, she's going into my closet now. So
yeah. I mean, we like fought about what sweater he was going to wear because he decided to.
Yeah, I'm throwing out half my closet. That's basically honestly, what we came down to.
That sweater was really not that bad.
I don't know about that. If I want to look like a middle-aged dad with like
a middle-aged
muffin top hips.
What are you talking
You saw how that looked on me, okay?
First of all, nobody sees our bottom half, so I could literally, we could be wearing pajamas.
But I see it, okay? It's on me. I'm insecure, okay?
All right, don't be insecure, girl. Work that up, dude. Anyways, thanks for stopping by and tuning into our episode this week. I think we're gonna let Amir start us off, or should we start off with?
Oh, you can start. Yeah, I can start. He's so good. I got a bunch of stuff here I was talking about. Okay. So I'll start. Okay. So I don't know what's been going on. Well, it's been going on for a while now. But like on the internet, there are people who like they try and blow a lot of things out of proportion. There are a couple things that recently I've been seeing. Like the first one is not as bad. It's like in regards to the winter. Winter is coming. Just like Jon Snow would say or whatever they say.
Whoever that guy was.
Yeah. You never watched Game of Thrones?
I watched season 1.
Season 1?
Yeah, and I did
actually.
Not.
How did you stop after season 1? Season 1's like
I literally had
the greatest season.
I had no inclination to continue the series. I'm sorry, it was not good.
You did it?
Sorry.
Well, you know what? Honestly, like because of that 7th season, like what happened in that last season? Was it 7 or 8? Yeah, the last season, like. It broke my heart. So the fact that you didn't have to go through that, maybe you saved yourself, okay? Maybe you saved yourself from that.
Listen, okay? I know heartbreak from TV shows. If you've ever watched Grey's Anatomy, you know heartbreak.
That show's still going on, though.
No, I know, but they kill a lot of...
Oh, no. When I say heartbreak, I mean by from how bad that season was.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I know about all the drama and like how they...
It was horrible. Honestly, like if you're watching Game of Thrones, just stop at season 6. Like
what? You can't just do that.
I'm sure they... And then read like a synopsis of season 7 from like maybe what happens in the books. I don't even know if it was cleared up in the books yet. They literally were going through the show so fast that the author who was still writing the series never finished the book. So they kind of had to just wing it for the last few seasons.
Didn't they killed Jon Snow, right?
Should we talk about spoilers? I guess it's been a while, honestly.
Spoiler. I didn't even watch the show.
But then again, he comes back to life. Spoiler.
Yeah. Okay.
It's a whole, like, it's it's fantasy, right? It's like a bunch of different stuff in there. But, like, it's very, like, grimy fantasy. It's
the lady with the blonde hair? The dragon lady?
Oh, Khaleesi?
Whatever, yeah.
Yeah.
Is she married to that big, scary-looking guy, Jason Momoa? Or Samoa, whatever.
Drogo. Is it Drogo? Drogo.
Whatever his name is.
Khal Drogo, yeah. Okay. Well, like that was like season 1 or season 2 material.
That's the only thing I remember them.
Yeah.
And I remember the brother and sister.
Oh yeah.
That turned me off.
Okay, I can see how that can turn you off. Yeah, and they really like go into that.
Why would I want to watch?
Yeah,
sorry.
it was kind of like leaning towards the like white people stuff. You know what
Sweet
I mean?
home Alabama.
Yeah. Okay. So what was I talking about? Yeah. So on the internet, these pages are posting like Toronto or Canada is about to have like the worst winter
I saw that.
ever. Honestly, it's like they take the post from last year and just repost it again. Because I swear, like every year they post the same thing saying Toronto or Canada is going to have the worst winter they've had in 20, 50 years or whatever.
But they compared it to the ice storm from 2013. I don't know if you're like, we always used to go
I
to
think
Philly.
I was gone for that. There was one storm that happened in Toronto in the middle of winter.
The ice storm, right? Where everything like froze.
Yeah.
I wasn't here either.
Same.
Thank God.
I forget where we were.
Philly.
We were in Philly, but then we went somewhere else after that, I think.
Was that the year you guys went to?
I think we went to Orlando, or we went to like on a cruise. I think we went on a cruise that year.
Because when I came back, like things were manageable. It wasn't as bad.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad I missed that, honestly.
Same. Can't relate.
There was the one that happened in summer that I also missed. Remember there was one, like a blackout that happened for like 6 days in Toronto?
A blackout?
Yeah. I think
like
it was in
recently?
Toronto. No. It was years and years ago, like early 2000s, I think.
Oh, yeah. I remember that.
You remember that,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I don't think we were here for that either. I think we were in like Florida or something when that was happening. We got
here.
really lucky. We were always in Florida of all places.
I actually remember that blackout.
Yeah.
Like, because it was summer, there's no AC.
Yeah, it was really bad.
It's like
apparently.
in the dark all the time.
Yeah, I don't remember it, or we weren't there for it, so
Yeah.
thankfully kind of missed out on it.
Yeah.
You know, the city just misses us. It can't stand being without us. It just breaks down, literally.
You know that
What?
That's so lame.
What? What do you mean it's so lame? It's true. If it happened multiple times, it can't be a coincidence.
I'm just saying, I don't remember experiencing like a severe winter because winter 2017,
Yeah.
my ass was baking in the sun in Australia.
Oh yeah.
And that's when it was like minus 40. And I remember like calling my parents and they'd be like, "Oh my God, it's so cold." I'm like, "Oh my God, it's so hot."
Oh yeah, because it's summer out there, right?
Yeah, and it was like, for them, I think it was normal, but for us, 32 degrees, and we're like, "Oh my God, heat wave," and they're like, "Wow, what a beautiful day."
And I remember that too because I had to work outside at that time too, and I think I got into a crash that year too. Was it 2017? I feel like it was maybe that year.
Oh, that
And my first one.
the big
I got
crash.
into a couple, guys. Yeah.
Just saying, between the two of us, I've never gotten into an accident.
Hey, one of them wasn't my fault. One of them. Okay, but yeah, so but the thing that reminded me of was the winter of 99 or 2000. I think it was 99 or 2000. I just remember that Oma was here.
Yes.
Our grandma was here and visiting. And like that year, the snow was literally like
Taller than we were.
yeah, well, we were kids at the time. It was taller than
Right.
our parents
Yeah.
at that point.
We have photos from then.
We do. I have videos. Like if you're watching the video part of this podcast, I'll probably have it in the background here because we have, like, literally, we have videos of us like running from yard to yard because the snow was so high that the fences.
video.
It was above the fences, so we were able to walk from
Like
yard to yard.
Yeah.
And it was actually funny because there was a dog, like it was a big white dog
I remember
in
that
our neighbor's yard, like 2 houses down. But because the snow was so high, the dog could literally stand and stare straight at you from over the fence.
Yo.
Like if he wanted to just step over that fence and come to us, he could.
But what didn't the snow like make the like? How do you not just sink all the way down in?
No, because eventually it was so much snow, it started getting packed, and we were like walking on it and everything.
Right. Okay.
And I think that dog was also it's a dog, so maybe they're lighter. They can maybe cut through it a little bit easier.
Maybe.
Yeah, but that year was I don't remember it like in detail, but just watching the videos and stuff, I just know that there's nothing that can top that year of all years when it comes to snow because of how much it was.
You might be speaking too soon.
Am I just jinxing it? I'm sorry to all the people in Toronto right now when I just jinxed it.
But you know what?
Yeah.
Like, I don't remember having a snow day from school. Like, I'm pretty sure we still went to school.
There was one year I felt so dumb because I only live like maybe
like a 2-minute walk.
Like a 2-minute walk from my elementary school. And one year I think it was maybe even this year, there was so much snow, but of course I'm lost half the time. I didn't know what I was doing. I just got up, got ready for school. This is when I was getting myself ready, and I just trekked through the snow. You
went to school?
Yeah, like the 3-4 feet of snow, and I didn't think to look at the news that day for some reason. And I just got into class and like, why are you here? Like, what are you doing here, bud? And because the school technically, it was a snow day, but they couldn't shut down completely for some reason. So I could have stayed home, but because I was there, they wouldn't send me home. So they continued having classes like normal with like 3 students in the class.
What?
I felt so dumb after that.
You
man.
were pissed, eh? You're
Of course, man. If I could get a free school day, or a snow day.
Side note, throwback to when we actually had to watch the news and you see that little strip at the bottom of CP.
Exactly. It was like the lottery, waiting for your school's name to show up on that list.
You're sitting there, you're seeing all the Catholic schools first, and you're like, come on, public school, come on.
Exactly.
Now the kids get little
like
emails.
TDSB, please come on. Tell me TDSB is closing down, guys.
And it would only be like the school bus that would stop, but the actual school was still open.
Well, there's like different rules, I think. Like if you were in a school bus, then you didn't have to come in, but if you walked or someone could drop you off, then you could come. Maybe it was that rule that day.
I think
that's why there were some students there.
Yeah.
I feel bad for students this year though, or this time, because I feel like snow days are just done. Because if you're, let's say it's a snow day, technically they can just go online. Like they have all the setup.
For elementary school too.
I feel like, yeah, because like if everyone had to be online at one point, that means they know that they have the materials to be able to teach online.
Sucks to be y'all, because we never had that.
I'm so glad I'm done with school, man. Every time someone comes up to me and they're like around my age and they're like, yeah, I'm going back to school. I'm like, why?
What do you mean? Technically I'm in school.
But like you're in school, but like
not
when
really.
people say, oh, I'm going to go back for my master's. I
mean, honestly though, like I really encourage, like pursue your higher education if you feel like that's the route that's best for you.
I guess if it's a goal, you know what?
Yeah.
I'm very not anti-school.
No, I know what you mean though.
But I never had the best experiences in school, so I just
like if you had the choice to go or not to go, like I'm probably not gonna go.
I have to remind myself for a lot of things for this one specifically that like everyone's different, everyone has their preferences, right?
Yeah.
But immediately, like before that thought reaches me, the first thing that comes out of my mouth is why would you do that to yourself?
I mean, no, I do get that though, because I like there are people in this world who like to go to school for fun, like they truly enjoy that, and power to you if that's you, but that ain't us. Yeah,
I know people who have been going to school up until now. Like I'm 29 now. You're just showing my age.
I'm not. I'm still young.
But I know people who have continued to go to school. Like even up till now, they're still going to school. Oh, shoot. 1 second. There's something going on with my... Okay, we're back. But yeah, also like a thing that I can kind of relate to that, where shouldn't be as judgy as I used to be, is in regards to, I think a couple episodes we were talking about like buying Jordans versus getting the replicas. And as someone who's recently come into ownership of some Jordans. Come into
some wealth.
Yeah. You know, it might make me look like a hypocrite. It was a gift, okay? I did not buy them myself.
But you accepted it.
Yeah, I accepted it. But like also I realized afterwards that like people have the things that they like, right?
Yeah.
Like I really like building computers. And of course they have like a function outside of just like the fact that they look nice and all that stuff. But I don't have to buy the most expensive card and all that stuff. But I do because I like it. And it's something that it's like a hobby that I enjoy.
Exactly. And that's something you are passionate about.
Exactly. And I feel like collecting shoes is just another passion or hobby that people have, getting the like most exclusive stuff. So, you know, I should temper my judgment when it comes to those kind of things. So, yeah, I was being a hypocrite, guys, when
Look
it comes
at that
to
growth.
Yeah, of course. You know, I change my opinions. I am a growing person. I learn every day and I try to implement that. Okay,
it's also because you have a pair of Jordans, but you know.
Oh, that too. You know, Jordans are really nice. Okay,
I bet you opened the box. You're like, they're not that bad.
I opened it. I bought some anti-crease materials immediately when I found out the price.
Wow.
And I am probably not opening up that box for like another 6 months.
I was gonna wait to wear them.
Yeah,
when you drive, you're gonna like drive in slides and then change into them when you get out of the car.
I literally watched a YouTube video the other day where someone did that. I was like,
Jane
yeah, exactly. You saw that video too?
I was like, yo, that's smart. That's what gave me the idea.
Yeah.
I get that though. You don't want to crease the J's.
Yeah, because you know when you get that like scuff on the back of the shoes too?
Yes.
It's the worst feeling, man. Especially if you have some new like white
the white Jordans, like the
not
Air Forces?
Not the Jordans, the Air Force Ones.
Yep.
I found out the other day that Air Force Ones are not Jordans.
Okay.
I thought.
Can we just talk about this? Because I don't know anything about Jordans, okay? They look nice. Would I buy a pair? Maybe. Yeah. But you know the Jordan 1s? Like the Air Force looking like one? Yeah. What are those?
They're not Jordans. They're just called Air Force Ones by Nike.
So the ones that you have, what are those?
Those are Air Jordans
What's the difference
Jordan
between that
ones.
and Air Force like high tops? Because they look exactly the same to me.
One is made by Nike. Well, they're both made by Nike technically, but one of them has the Jordan name on it and one doesn't.
But they look exactly the same.
To you, they look exactly the same. To someone who's not into shoes,
like the shape of it. The only difference that I notice is like the sole is thinner on the Jordans.
Yeah, well, those small differences are what make them different.
Are you kidding me right now?
No, that's how the shoe game is.
So Air Forces are Air Forces.
Yeah.
And those Jordans that look like Air Forces are not Air Forces.
Yeah. Well, you'd have to show me a picture. I'll probably pull it up here. I need to see what this looks at. It looks like.
We're about to Google it right now.
What are they called? What are the ones that look like?
Okay, hold on. Let me search it.
Maybe you're thinking of Jordan 1s, but you're confusing it for a high top or whatever. A Jordan 1, blah, blah, blah.
Okay, so this is Air Forces. Hold on. High top.
Mm-hmm.
You're telling me that's not Jordans?
No.
Okay.
They're not the same, though. Look, they have like a whole Velcro strip on them, too.
So do Jordan.
No, they don't. Well, like...
Jordan
different ones. No, Jordan 1 doesn't have a Velcro strip on it. Exactly.
Whatever. It's like its first cousin. They look exactly the same.
Like I said, going back to the hobbyist thing.
Look at this. Okay.
Yeah. I know, because they're both made by Nike. So like they're gonna have similar looks. But that goes back to the whole thing about people having hobbies. Like these small things that you might not look like very significant to you are very significant to them. What?
The only difference is the strap and the fact that the sole is just thicker.
To you, it feels like that. But there
to
are...
you too!
Yeah, because I'm not into shoes like that, okay?
But you agree with me,
like,
right?
I just found out. Like I just found out they're not Jordans.
No, but you agree. Like, they look the same.
Yeah. Like, they look very similar, except for the whole strap at the top thing.
These were my grade 7 shoes.
They look like Jordans before you colored them in.
Yeah. No, but like, so you're telling me Air Forces don't have different colorways?
They probably do. Oh shoot! What is that? I have no idea what that is.
Is it an emergent like those?
No, it was a call from Instagram. I didn't even know you could do that.
Oh. Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you're telling me they only have the black and white? Oh look.
No, they have other colors. I'm sure.
So what is the difference between this and Jordan?
You're asking the wrong guy. Okay.
We need to have a Jordan expert come on here and just clear it up for us one day when we fact check. See you guys next week.
I'll have one of the younger guys on.
I know, right?
They can break it down for us,
explaining the difference.
Yeah,
but
we sound like old timers probably when they talk about this kind of stuff.
I know. I'm pretty sure anyone who knows us in real life is like, oh my god, you guys are so embarrassing. It's fine.
Yeah. Okay. Tell what went on with your week this time, Sara.
Okay. So I was venting to a mirror as usual, and then I realized like this is a really relatable topic. I hate getting vulnerable on this thing. I don't know, because you don't know who's gonna watch this, but anyways, let's just get into it.
Maybe the right person will watch it. The person that needs to hear it.
Maybe. I hope so. Like if that's the case and this makes someone else's day or makes them feel better, then my job here is done. But anyways, I'm like nervously sweating now.
Why?
I'm literally
Here, turn this thing towards you. Okay, there you go.
Oh, that could turn?
Yeah.
Oh, I was like,
that's why you're
struggling this whole time.
Okay.
No,
that's fine. Leave it. It's
you
fine.
sure?
Yeah, it's fine. It'll be fine.
Okay.
I think.
All right. Hopefully you don't damage it.
Yeah.
Let me just there we go.
Okay.
So I just went back to the office this past week, and I was like dreading it. Of course I do. I really do value the in-person interaction. Like I'm an extroverted type of, my personality is like that. So I thrive off of the energies of other people. The energy of other people. That being said, whoa, I'm loud.
Oh, my bad. I was trying to fix your level. My bad. Okay.
It scared me.
I'm sorry. You scared yourself?
So, in preparation of returning to work, I also was like working from home for the past 2 years. So my work attire was sweatpants, leggings.
Just like all of us.
Yeah. Like basically, what is it? Athleisure? No.
Huh? Yeah, like casual.
I was wearing sweatpants. Let's be real, okay? And because I was working from home and 90% of my time was spent at my desk and really not moving, not really doing much, not going to the gym because it was closed, not going outside because I was just afraid of all diseases that would come to me. I don't know.
What? Okay.
Yeah, like at first,
Yeah.
I was afraid to leave my house because I'm like, I don't know what's out there.
Oh, like early on. Yeah. That
early
makes
on.
sense. Yeah.
And then like, I formed a habit where I just didn't want to leave my house. I became a hermit.
Yeah.
Is it a hermit or a Kermit?
Kermit, like on Sesame Street? Not Sesame Street. Is it Sesame Street? No.
The
Muppets.
Muppets.
Yeah.
Kermit. A hermit. A hermit. Like little, anyway.
Yeah.
So obviously it's normal, and I keep having to tell myself that so that I don't beat myself up for it. But I gained weight in quarantine, as a lot of other people have. But I didn't realize how much I did because I was wearing
loose fitting clothing,
or even if I was wearing leggings are so comfortable. Okay, so like you don't notice anything.
Yeah.
Until my first week back last week, when I had to like pick out my old clothes from the last time I went to the office in 2020, and I was like, oh my god, what? Why are these pants like a lot tighter than I remember? Like, did they shrink? No, no, they didn't shrink. I just gained weight. So then, I thugged it out for the first 2 days because it is what it is. Like I was only there 2 days in the week. Yeah. But I knew I made a mental note in my head, like I need to go shopping and like buy a whole new wardrobe now to hold me over for now. So I went on Saturday with my mom, and I went to the stores that I normally shop at, and I knew that I wouldn't be able to fit into my normal size. So I was like, okay, at most, like I just have to size up one, right? Yeah. Wrong. So I was telling Amir, I went to Zara and I sized up in a pair of pants, and I was like, literally, like it got up to my thighs, and I almost had a breakdown in the change room. And I stood there like I was so sad and like just disgusted with myself, like, oh my god, how much weight did I actually gain? So then I come out of the change room. My mom's by the way, I used to hate shopping with my mom as a teenager, and now I'm like, can you come with me to the mall?
So you turned it to me, basically.
Yeah, I have like social anxiety or something. I don't know. But anyway, so it like hit me. I was like, oh my god, I can't even shop at Zara anymore. Like that was my favorite store. Then I was like, okay, let me try H&M. So I go to H&M, and it was like stuff fit, but it just didn't fit how it used to. Like I was, and then there's that whole like thing, when you like look at your photos from like literally when you were 21, and you're like, wow, you used to look so good. But I realized in that moment, like this past week, when I was looking at these photos of me friggin' like 6-7 years ago, I had such severe body dysmorphia, because these photos that I'm looking at now, I'm like, oh my god, I was so skinny. But then I used to think I was like the fattest person in the world, which is so crazy, because if I show you a photo, you would be like, how? Like, and so
it shows you how much that what you look like on the outside is not an indication of how you are on the inside.
Oh yeah, 100%. And then in this moment now, like fast forward to me having a mental breakdown in the friggin'
change room of a Zara.
And I'm just like, like a million things going through. I'm like, okay, I need to like change how I eat. Maybe I should do keto. I need to work out 7 days a week, twice a day. I think I'm gonna do that. So I'm like thinking about all of these things, and then I come out of the change room. My mom's like, so how did it go? And I'm like, let's just go home. It's fine. Like I don't need to wear clothes. It's okay. I'll figure something out. Maybe I'll wear a abaya or something to work.
Hey, you can do it, man. You got to change the cultures out here.
So then like it hit me, and I was like texting my brother, and I was kind of just like venting to him as well, and he was kind of just like saying like, you know what, you're not alone in feeling this. Like a lot of people are going through the same thing, which it didn't really make me feel better. Like misery does love company, but at the same time, this is like my personal journey, I guess you could say. And I was telling Amir that it hit me that one, I'm not comfortable in like the body that I'm in now. Unfortunately, it's very sad to admit that, because you want to be able to truly love yourself and take care of yourself. And I haven't done that. So
that's a big thing. And I think actually Gizman recently, my sister Aisha, I guess,
she did put out a video about this.
She actually literally recently, so it's actually good timing that she put out a video about like loving yourself and loving your body that you have, no matter the size. But also like if you do want to make change, making sure that you make healthy changes. And I always talk about this. I'm always trying to champion like making changes, gradual changes that you can keep for a long period of time,
right?
Because like you're in the change room, a lot of people think like that, where they're like immediately like, I need to go into like the strictest diet. I need to start working out 7 days a week.
My mom was like, "Do you want Starbucks?" I'm like, "I don't deserve Starbucks."
So like when you start thinking like that, you're already setting yourself up for failure. Because you're gonna try going in all at once, and then you're quickly it's going to drop out because you can't sustain something that you just jump into.
Right.
What I'm saying, you need to make sure you build the good habits, right?
Right.
But outside of that, even before you do that, I think it's the first part is just like accepting where you currently are, whatever shape you're in, and learning to love that first, and then kind of making, if you want to start making those changes to maybe fit a more healthier lifestyle. So even if you're not actively trying to lose weight, it just starts falling off because you're living a more healthy lifestyle. Like putting better things in your body, that kind of thing. And
that's like like I had to catch myself because I left the mall and I was like very upset, and I just I bought some stuff, but I wasn't excited about it. Like I was kind of just like, whatever, this is what fits, so I'm just gonna wear it. I don't even like this, but fine, but as I was like at home and like doing some work on my computer, I was like in my head, wasn't even focusing on whatever I was doing. I was more in my head, and I was kind of just like, okay, what do I need to do to like change my lifestyle? And one thing that I noticed was on the days that I did go to the office, I wasn't running up and down the stairs. I wasn't active. You know what I mean? Like I was just in the office. I was doing my job, and then I came home. And I noticed that I closed all of the rings on my Apple Watch. Whereas if I'm at home, the most I do, like I'm at my computer. I feel like anyone who works from home knows that when you're working from home, you almost work harder than you do in the office. Yeah. In the office, you can get away with like coffee breaks, and you see your friend, you're like, hey, let's go chat real quick. Yeah. So you're moving around and you're not working as hard. Whereas at home, you're trying to make sure that your company knows that the productivity is not going to drop. So you work harder. Yeah. And so I rarely ever leave my desk. One, and two, I never, for me, the biggest thing was like, you could call it intermittent fasting, but it was more so of just like, when you get so busy that you forget to eat. Yeah. I am the number one culprit. Like there are days where I'll eat like once a day. Yeah. Which is so bad.
And I think that's a big misconception. People are like, oh, I'm not even eating that much. How am I getting? But really, you don't realize where it's coming from, right? Exactly. Like you might skip maybe these few meals. Yeah. And then you kind of overdo it on at the end of the day, or maybe a couple days later,
right? Because you're like, else. Oh, I can afford to like
exactly.
And I was watching this one like YouTuber who, and this is a trigger warning just in case anyone experiences this, but she had a binging problem, and so she, like when I watched her video where she spoke about it more in depth, and it wasn't just binging, it was also bulimia, where she would binge. And anyone who doesn't know what binging is, it's like when you overconsume, like to the
point where like you feel like you're about to just gag, but you continue stuffing yourself.
It's so crazy because the more I did research on it, I'm like, wow, I've definitely done that like once or twice. But then I wouldn't say that I did extreme binging, because she was like pushing 10,000 calories.
Which is like, even for me, that would be hard.
That's a lot.
Yeah, and you're talking about a lady who's like young, smaller.
She's so small, and I'm like, how? But obviously, she was explaining that she would obsessively work out, and then she would also take like laxative pills to like basically maintain her weight. Like she would eat everything and then let it leave. Let it out. Yeah. And then work out too. So I was like, I don't want to do that. Like I don't want to. I've seen people that I know, and just like people online, the way that they handle these situations with these unhealthy habits. First of all, it's not sustainable. You're going to mess up your insides. And part of, I guess, the self-love journey is really taking care of like your body. And whatever that looks like to you. Like as long as you're taking care of it, it's you only get one body. You know what I mean? Yeah. So for me, it's not necessarily about losing weight, but it's just about feeling good within myself, So remember, like, I think it was like when we first started the podcast, we kind of talked about making small changes. Yeah. So I actually started going on walks, and I started going back to the gym, and then I fell into this rut where I didn't go for like 3 weeks. And actually one of my friends who is a personal trainer, shout out to Nabat Sharif, She posted about this recently on her story where she was saying sometimes like you just don't feel like going and starting is the hardest part, or just going, like getting up to do it. But once you're doing it, like you never say, oh, I regret going to the gym. Like I've never felt like that ever.
Yeah.
So the days that I would go were like the days that I would either do a walk or I would go to the gym. I'd pick between the two.
Yeah.
I almost like always it instantly boosted up my mood, and I just felt better about myself.
Yeah.
Because I felt like I was doing something.
Exactly. You feel like you've accomplished at least one thing that day. Cause even accomplishing one thing in a day can change your whole idea about how that day went, or change your whole mood.
But even like just walking in nature, like I remember you were talking about this too, like it gives you that time to just be with yourself, and for me it gives me a lot of mental clarity, especially when you have like 5 million things going on about your day. Like I feel like my own personal schedule is so messy. Like there's so much going on that when I think one change for me is I need to like prioritize this 45 minutes to an hour a day where like that's my me time.
My family knows at this point, like when it's my walk time, it's my walk time. You're not going to hear from me, or you're not going to see from me for another 45 minutes to an hour.
I love that it's non-negotiable for you.
Yeah, exactly. Like even now, like the moment I finish work, my parents don't say nothing to me. They know immediately I'm going to get off my desk. I'm going to go outside and take my 1 hour walk right away. Just have that 1 hour, no matter what the weather is outside, they know I'm going to be outside.
See, like I respect that, because like the reason why I stopped was, you know that 1 week where it just rained all week? Yeah. That was like, I don't want to go outside.
You know how much wet shoes I had that week?
Really? See, I should have like taken it upon myself to go to the gym, but then I was like...
Oh yeah, you could do that too, go on a treadmill.
I was like, it's raining. It's my excuse to stay home, you know?
Even like on those days, just to continue with the habit.
Yeah.
Don't even think about, I have to do 1 hour walk. Just do a 10-minute walk.
Yeah.
Because then at least it'll eventually become part of your routine.
Right.
And you're more inclined to do more in the future if it's part of your routine. Even if you just did that 10 minutes that one day, it's almost like completing the circles on your watch.
Yeah.
Like, you completed it and you just want to continue. It's almost like, we used to have like Snapchat
the streaks.
Yeah. It's like that. It's like you don't want to break the streak.
Yeah.
So you continue doing it.
That's true. And I think that the watch really has served its purpose. Like it truly does motivate me.
Yeah, it keeps you motivated. It keeps you what is that? Like
it keeps you accountable
honest,
too.
Accountable, exactly.
Yeah, because like I'll close all my rings one day, and then the next day it'll be like, you closed all your rings. Let's try to close them again today. And I'm like, damn, all right.
It'll be like 8 p.m. It's like, I don't know about today, man.
That's literally like, I'm just like, yeah, okay.
I've had those days though where like my watch says I've only done 8,000 steps, and my goal is 10,000 steps a day.
8,000 is a lot.
No, 10,000 is like the minimum I have to go for
you.
Yeah. But like it would be like 11 o'clock. Literally it's happened this week, and I was like, I guess I got to take 2,000 steps. So I walked from my room across to the living room, back and forth for 20 minutes. Really? It takes me like 10 minutes for 1,000 steps. I just did that back and forth. I took my book out. I was reading my book while doing it. Like, thankfully, I have a good peripheral vision, so I can kind of read and walk and do that no problem. So I was like, get my steps done. But yeah, that's the part about like the fact that I have that habit. I don't want to break it, so I just do whatever is necessary to complete it.
Have you ever been in that position though, where whether you gained weight or you lost weight to the point where you were no longer in your ideal state, and like maybe you didn't feel as good about yourself as you once did? Like, how do you kind of get out of that mental headspace?
Yeah, in my early days for sure. Because like when I was working out a lot, but I was eating more because I was trying to bulk up.
Right.
But even with that goal of trying to bulk up, just seeing yourself get bigger, it doesn't feel good in general, because you feel, you're getting bigger. You have like rolls in places you never used to have rolls.
Yeah.
So just that feeling in general was not nice, but I realized I was doing it for a reason. I had a goal in mind for it, so that kind of quelled a lot of those thoughts. And yeah, in general, is just knowing that I have the ability to make the changes I need. My goal is, I have the ability to make those changes. So that was always a motivating factor to be like, okay, maybe I look like this now. But if I want to change, I have to do the work necessary to make those changes.
Right.
And that was motivating me and kind of displacing a lot of those negative thoughts and making them more into positive thoughts, flipping it.
But the fact that you were able to to do that on your own is like, I commend you for that.
Well, that's because I'm just a very independent person in general, right? So my walks help a lot with like reasoning and thinking things through in general. Like my early day walks, that's where I got like a lot of my best ideas and where I kind of changed a lot of how I thought about a lot of things. Because when you're walking by yourself, this is before I started reading while my walks, like I'd have a lot of time just think about how I react to certain situations,
right?
How I could have done things better in my past. So you have a lot of time to think about those things, and anyone who does start walking can do that as well. It's really helpful, and it really helped just in general. And now I feel like I'm better for it.
You know, I think it's about a month ago now to kind of further motivate me to continue walking, especially outside. Like, I also bought a windbreaker to wear when it gets colder outside, because I was like, oh, you know what, like it's starting to get cold now, like I'm gonna need something to wear. So I bought that, and it's literally hanging up on the back of my door. But I think that what happened when I was at the mall, it really struck a chord in me that like now I really have that like drive. And I guess me talking about it on the podcast is really holding me accountable.
Yeah. Sometimes you need that kick in the pants, honestly.
Yeah.
Like lot
I've never
of
heard of that. Kick in the pants.
You never heard kick in the pants?
I've never heard that. What are you, 65-year-old white man? Like,
yeah, I work with a lot of older white people.
Kick in the pants.
But sometimes you need that
nudge.
That nudge. That kick in the pants to motivate you to actually make the changes that are necessary or that you feel are necessary. Because someone might see all that and feel all that and feel like, oh, okay, I just need to get bigger clothes. Like they don't.
No, I don't want to get bigger clothes. That's the thing.
No. I'm saying other people might not have the same thoughts you might have, right?
Yeah, yeah, of course.
Just so I don't like generalize and say, if you had that, you were in that situation, you must feel this way.
No. Disclaimer, okay? Like this is my own personal feeling towards myself.
Yeah.
If you're happy the way that you look, power to you.
Yeah.
What matters most is how healthy you are. And if you're healthy, then keep at it. That's all I gotta say. You know what I mean? But for me personally, like I'm at a point where I've never been this weight before. I don't know how to dress. I don't even know like what size I am. I was telling Amir, like, I don't even know what to wear. Like I'm in this uncomfortable situation. I don't feel like myself. Like, and it's not an easy thing to go through, but at the same time, I had to just keep reminding myself, like, it's not permanent. Like, you can do this. You've done it before. Like, you know, so I mean, we'll see how my journey goes.
No, but it's good that you're open about that so other people can kind of relate, because it's something that everyone, especially in COVID, that I feel like a lot of people went through it, where they started gaining weight because we were all stuck in the house. We weren't, well, I was out and about, like, I'm probably sure not been, but for walks and stuff, but
I should have done it. I don't know. Inside. Like I really could have taken advantage of doing that, but I, like, for me, being at home for COVID, I developed such a really bad social anxiety. Like I've never been someone who was like afraid to go outside or afraid to go out and do things by myself. But like something as simple as like going to Costco by myself, just like I did not feel comfortable. Like I don't know what it was. So like I never went out for walks. Like I feel like my mom would sometimes be dragging me out and I would only go just to make her happy, but I didn't care for like myself, you know? And like I said, it all came down to like, I wasn't wearing work clothes. I was wearing home clothes, like big t-shirts, sweatpants, leggings. You don't notice the weight gain then, because it's not like, and I'm also like a lot shorter, right? So 5 pounds of weight gain on me looks like I've gained like 50 pounds, which sucks.
Well, I feel like even me the same way. Like the 10-pound difference makes a huge change in just how my face looks, how everything looks. Yeah.
So, and I guess, you know, the good thing about it, and my friend was telling me this as well, she was like, well, I mean, if you gained it in a quick time, you could probably lose it in a really fast like time as well. You just have to like, you know, dedicate.
But if it doesn't happen, don't let that demotivate you, because
there's that too. And even when I did start going back to the gym, like I wasn't obsessively checking the scale or anything like that. Like it was more so of just like I needed just a de-stressor, something that'll like, you know, get my mind off of work and every other commitment that I'm in, and the gym or going for my walks really helped that. And one thing that I noticed is like at first I started off with one specific route, And that took me about 45 minutes. And then I got it down to completing that within like 30 minutes. Then I was like, you know what? Let me challenge myself and go further. Like I can do this. It's fine. The first day I was like deeply regretting it, but the only way I could get home was to walk.
Yeah.
So it took me an hour to get home.
Oh, that's nice. That's a nice.
And my parents, when I walked home, they're like, where were you? I was like, oh my God, you guys, I walked so far. I'm so tired. My calves are on fire. And now to this point, I've added more to that route and I can get it all done in 45 minutes.
See, so it makes just seeing those.
It's about
changes.
4 kilometers, you know, working my way.
That's good. Like that's how much I do for an hour, honestly. Well,
like
about 4 or 5 kilometers. Yeah.
Like I'm working towards eventually, like I saw this one TikTok of this girl running and I was like mesmerized.
Is it the one where she's like changing
locations?
Yeah, I saw that too. Yeah.
So I was like, wow, I want to be like her. It'll take me forever, but you know, I want to try it. Like that's something I want to work towards. Man,
you never know, especially if it matter depending on how dedicated you are.
Yeah.
You can make these changes quickly or within years if you want to. It's just about building good habits. Yeah, and so like I kind of want to get my like right now what I'm working on, and the thing that I like about my Apple Watch is that it shows like your average pace or your stride, like how long it takes you. So I'm trying to get that number down to like see if I can speed walk. Yeah, having numbers that you can track makes a huge difference.
Yeah. So like every time I notice that I've gone a little bit faster, I'm like, oh, okay, good, you know. And there's a lot of uphills and stuff, so I just literally using my own stats to motivate myself to do better. Yeah, like I am my own competition. I'm not going to compare myself to someone else because that is toxic.
Exactly. You always have to be your own competition.
Yeah. So I mean, we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, inshallah. I can see if you're dedicated to it and you really make the steps towards make those changes, then it's yours already. Like you already have it in the bag at that point.
Oh, thanks.
Oh my God. I don't even know how to segue into the other things.
I know.
That I have
sorry.
here. Like they're so unrelated.
We got super deep. I'm gonna take a water break. I'm sweating. I'm like nervous from that. Like literally my body's hot.
Okay. Well, this one is gonna be way off topic, but like recently there's. Did I forget how to speak for a second? Recently, there has been this show that has blown up on the internet called Squid Game. And like, I don't know where it came from. It was literally like the day it came out, the day after, it was the biggest thing on the internet.
I saw it. Yeah. And I watched the trailer and I was like, oh, okay, this looks interesting. I was like, mental note, I'll watch it later. And then all of a sudden, there's all these memes that I don't get. All these, I'm like,
still, even on TikTok, I still get memes about it or videos about it, and I have no idea what's going on. Like now, I just from going off of those videos that I've seen, I can kind of put together exactly what happens on the show, who dies, blah blah, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. To the point where it's like, do I even need to watch this? And
I think we should. I kind of want to check it out. Yeah,
and of course, like I don't like watching people die. Like it's almost like it's kind of like adjacent to the whole horror thing. And I have a phobia of horror movies. Yeah, and I just don't like seeing people die like for no reason or for like frivolously, if that makes sense. Yeah, so, and people being murdered right in front of you. In a sense
of like they're being tortured.
Yeah, exactly. So like I'm not really into that. I'm good. I think I should be okay. But with the amount of people that are talking about it on the internet, I feel like I kind of have to. You just feel that like social pressure just so you can understand the memes.
All I'm saying is I didn't watch Game of Thrones and everyone and their mama was talking about it. And I was like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, you watched the first season, so you kind of fell for it.
I literally watched the first season, and I was like, this ain't it.
But they got you to watch the first season.
Yeah, because I'm willing to give things a chance. Try. Yeah, like for example, Power. I watched Power like right before the last season, before all these new spin-offs came on. I binge watched like 4 seasons. Yeah. Same thing with like Prison Break. Like I watched them all after the hype dies down.
I watched Power, the first episode of Power, 3 times. Why? Because I tried to get into it 3 times.
No. Trust me. Power? Trust me. Trust me. No. I'm here. I literally paid for this.
Breaking Bad? Exactly. See? Exactly.
I'm laughing because you know how many people told me that when they thought of Albuquerque, New Mexico, they also thought of High School
they're
Musical.
all girls, okay?
Yeah, whatever they were.
had an audience, okay?
But did you watch Prison Break?
No.
You didn't watch Prison?
I know. That literally is the most popular show on the internet.
I think you would like that one. Like, it's not too
I think
gory.
I watched maybe the first season here and there. Like, I remember it was so popular at one point that my parents got the DVD set for it. From our cousin. He had them all like burned, like, of course legally.
So random.
But he had, and they watched it all through with that. But this was like years ago. I think the show was even still going on at that point.
Oh no,
because they had literal DVDs for to watch each season. Yeah,
that's dedication.
But sorry, were you about to make a point there? Because I was about to say something.
No, go ahead.
Okay, no. But, well, my point to bringing it up is to kind of bring in the general point of, like, international entertainment kind of taking over.
Oh, yeah.
And, like, now it's really seeping in. And you can kind of tell because even the American industries are starting to realize, okay, we got to get more international.
Right.
Mostly because of, like, a lot of their biggest audience now. Because people in the Western world are not really going out for movies anymore. It's more people in like China or a lot of the Asian countries that are going out for movies. So they have to kind of gear more towards those audiences. So that's why we're seeing a lot more diversity within American movies. But in general, like whether it comes to music, like K-pop has taken over.
I have.
Have you divulged or indulged in the
BTS?
K-pop?
Yeah. BTS?
Really?
We're going to listen to
Can
BTS.
you even tell the guys apart?
I cannot. I don't know a single name.
Yeah.
Do I understand the music? Like 25%.
Yeah.
The 1-2 English words. I'm like, oh, he said love.
Have you noticed that? I noticed that like from their early stuff to their newer stuff, the more they started getting popular in like the Western world, the more English they started putting into their stuff.
Yeah.
But like for me, I was like, okay, maybe this is what?
No, continue. Finish your part. I just remembered something.
Okay, no, but like I was like, why is this becoming so popular now? In the K-pop stuff in general, I think it's because there is like a lack of boy bands or girl bands in the industry that people kind of like liked. Because remember, in the early days, we had like NSYNC, we had not Big Brother, Backstreet Boys,
98 Degrees,
O-Town, S Club 7.
Yeah, well, they're not a boy band; they're mixed.
They're mixed, but like just bands in general, like that, like like really, what do they even call it when you put something together, like manufactured groups,
like cookie cutter,
exactly. And there were like some groups out here, but they weren't very cookie cutter, right? They're more edgy these days, like Little Mix. I don't know, what are these girl groups?
Little Mix is like a pop.
But essentially, like I feel like because they wanted more of that clean stuff, and a lot you've noticed like a lot of the K-pop listeners are like younger listeners, right? And I feel like they need something more clean. And even if you listen to it, it's like very generic stuff. It's nothing special. There's nothing new about it.
It's like very, very pop.
Yeah, it's very engineered.
But it's so catchy.
And it's engineered to be catchy, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like maybe that's why it's become so popular. But that's in the music realm. And I'm talking about like even in movies and TVs, going back to like Squid Game, that's in the Korean movie genre. We have Money Heist, which has been taking over.
Is huge.
And we also have, I don't know if you've heard about it, it's also big, but maybe you've never seen it. It's called Dark. It's a German show.
Is it on Netflix?
Yeah, it's on Netflix.
I think I've like seen it and I might have.
It's a really good show. If anyone wants
sounds like it's scary. How did you watch that?
No, it's not scary. It's very like, it's mystery.
Oh,
it deals with a little bit of like sci-fi / like time travel. It deals with like Game of Thrones level characters. Like when I say characters, I mean like you have to remember this character's location to here, or not location, but how they or where their origin is from, what their name is, because they're related to this person and this person's related to that person. It's kind of like one of those shows where you have to have like a spreadsheet in front of you. You don't literally have to have one, but you kind of have to remember, okay, this is how this person related to this person. So it really engages you. It's not one of those shows that you can have in the background and just be playing. It's a really, really good show. And the people who made it, they made it so that it would be 3 seasons. And like the fact that it's 3 seasons also plays into the show, like why it's 3 seasons. And it's a very good show. It's a very, very deep show. If you're looking for a show that's really just challenges you, I feel like Dark is perfect for you. You should watch it too.
I'm going to check it out.
Yeah, but it's in German.
Oh, is it dubbed though?
It's dubbed, exactly.
Okay.
Well, you should write subtitles, man. Come on.
No,
man.
I do watch with subtitles too, but
no, I feel like watching with subtitles is a lot better.
okay, fine.
I guess we could have that whole sub versus dub debate.
Honestly, I watch Money Heist in English.
Dub?
Yeah. I've tried it. Like I've watched 1 or 2 episodes, like with the normal. But I was like,
that's
too
like
much work.
That's not right, Sara.
I read like all day for work, so I just want to listen. I just want to be able to close my eyes.
But you don't get the emotion behind it.
I mean, the voice actors do a pretty good job.
I don't know because I've never listened to the English version of it.
Trust me. I mean,
I guess the English dub.
Like even I don't know if you've ever heard of Elite.
Yeah,
it has some of the same actors from Money Heist.
Yeah.
Arabic soap operas.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Arabic soap operas. How everybody looks like Kim Kardashian.
That too.
They
the
all
Turkish
have surgery.
The Turkish shows.
Oh, Ertugrul. Exactly. What
did you just call it?
Ertugrul.
It's Ertugrul.
Whatever. Okay.
Ertugrul. What? How did you even get that?
What? That's how it's said. That's how it's said.
It's pronounced Ertugrul.
Ertugrul. Okay. Whatever.
Yeah, but that show took the world by storm.
Yeah.
Non-Muslims
or the Muslim
were
world,
even,
really.
No, even non-Muslims.
Even non-Muslims were watching.
Listen, okay, I fell into like, I don't know if you do this too, but like,
are we gonna have like non-Muslims out here saying mashallah, inshallah, inshallah?
No, but like when I obsess over a show, I start to like YouTube like the actors doing interviews.
Yeah. So you can see what they're actually like.
And like I read the comments and people are like, oh, I'm not. Like they'll say that they're not Muslim, but they like really love the Turkish culture. The
show's like converts a few people.
maybe, but you're right though. International shows have really taken over, and now like when you watch like a regular like American show, you're like, this isn't even that interesting.
They really have to like take it to the next level because now they're competing with the rest of the world.
Exactly.
When it comes to drama, like, even like going back to Korean dramas apparently have really taken over.
Really?
Yeah, like I haven't gone into them, but I see a lot of people talking about Korean entertainment in general.
I've watched. I don't know if it's Korean, maybe Japanese. Not too sure, but it's called I can't remember what it's called, but I'm gonna find it on my Netflix. It's like a reality show where they pretty much like pick out like people from like pretty much all of Asia, and they stay in a house.
It's like Big Brother,
sort of, but not really. I don't know if it's a dating. I can't really tell honestly because there's no dubs, so I'm watching it. You're watching it
in their language.
Yeah, low-key, I was learning a couple words. I'm pretty sure it's a Japanese show.
Wait, so you're not even reading subtitles?
No.
Okay, I was about to say. For a second, I was so confused. I was like, how are you watching this without understanding a thing they're saying?
I mean, you kind of catch on, but no, I did watch with subtitles.
Okay.
And they had this one guy who was like a basketball player, where he's like half Japanese, half black, I'm pretty sure. I can't remember what his name was, but it was like really, I watched a couple seasons, and this was like maybe 2 or 3 years ago. So now that I'm seeing like, like whether it's K-pop or just, I mean, I didn't know that Korean soaps were even a thing. I really didn't.
Yeah, it's like a huge thing now because apparently they're more like emotional. Like the only reason I'm seeing all this is because of like TikTok. You know, how it just serves you this stuff up and knows you're slightly like you liked one video that had Korean in it, so you start showing you a bunch of Korean stuff. Yeah.
Do you feel like you still are willing to watch American shows after now getting into the international scene?
Like I don't watch a lot of shows.
Yeah.
And if I am going to give a show my time, like someone has to really recommend it, or it has to be like really like it has to be top notch essentially. So I feel like maybe that's the thing. I don't care what language. That's the thing. Like that's the thing that's changed. I mean, sorry. I don't care what language it's in. If it's a good show and it has subtitles so I can actually understand what's going on, I'm going to watch it. Like Ertugrul, I was told that was a good show, so I started watching. Or whatever you said.
Ertugrul.
What did I say?
You know what?
What?
This one time, so my dad uses my YouTube on the TV.
Yeah.
And so I was searching something, and you know how you can see your last?
Yeah.
So he typed in Arturu, like AR.
So your influence?
Yeah, so I was like, Arturu. And then I was like, what the hell? And I was like, oh. And I laughed so hard to myself because I know he was trying to look for like, because he watched the show with me. But, you know, he kind of like, he didn't always catch the subtitles, right? So he understood like maybe 50% of the show. So he was trying to look for like the Arabic dubbed one. Yeah. So that he could watch that.
Oh, he understands the Arabic one?
I mean, he says he does. I don't know.
I know a lot of them say they understand the Arabic first. I'm like,
Listen,
do you though?
He says he
Are
does.
you just trying to flex on us?
When we got vaccinated, the guy that vaccinated us was an Arab guy.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, he had the same name as my dad.
Yeah.
So he's like, are we all cousins? I'm like, I don't know, maybe. So he's like, do you guys speak Arabic? And then I was like, nope. My mom was like, no, I kind of know like 1-2 words. My dad's like, yeah. No, we both looked at each other like, no, you don't.
Yeah.
Like you actually don't. I didn't even know this. Then the man just starts speaking to him.
fluent Arabic to him.
So my dad's just saying there like, nam.
No.
So I'm like, you don't even know what he's saying. You really don't.
You just walk away. You ask him like, so what do you say? He's like, I got no damn idea.
So my mom was laughing because she's like, look, your dad's just saying nam.
Yeah.
But he's quoting like Quran verses to him. Yeah,
I like that. Top five verse, remember?
did you not see the I think I sent you the TikTok, right?
Which one?
This girl.
Yo, TikTok be messing with me. Like, you send me messages, but I won't see it. Or at least, like, the notification's so, like, discreet that I won't see it till, like, a few days later.
So she was, like, on some kind of talent show. She's like, yeah, I can speak all these languages. So she said that she could speak French. And the guy responded in Spanish. She's like, that's Spanish. And then she goes, marhaban, I can also speak Arabic. Qul huwallahu ahad. She legit
starts reciting Quran.
I'm gonna show it to you. She legit starts reciting the Quran.
Yeah.
And he's like, wow.
Wait, did the guy understand Arabic at all?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, so they like fully fell for it.
But I was like, yo. It's like, you know those TikTok memes and it's like you lie in your resume saying you're fluent in Arabic?
Yeah.
So you start reciting Quran.
Oh my God.
It's so funny, but yeah, so that's what my dad did, pretty much, you know?
Oh my God. But I guess to just wrap that whole international thing up, it's like, it shows you that now with the internet, the age of the internet, no matter where you are in the world,
everything is accessible.
Yeah, everything is accessible. So you're not kind of stuck to sticking to like one part of the world when it comes to what's fed to you, because when you are like watching a lot of these American movies, of course it has American culture and American culture, but also American like ideas and like biases behind it. So like, you know, we talked about in the past, like how Muslims are represented in American entertainment, and how other Asians or anyway, Indian people, how they represent minorities in general are represented in American media. Right. Now we have the choice to be like, you know what? If we're not going to be represented properly, we're just going to go and watch it in another country that will represent us properly. Yeah. And we have a lot of cases now where they are representing Muslims and other minorities in the proper light. Yeah. And hopefully American entertainment or the media companies will start seeing that. It will start taking the time to actually properly represent us.
Yeah, I think that's wishful thinking, but...
Yeah, I guess so, because they do have their audience. We have to remember that a lot of times in American media, we're not their audience. Like there still is a majority of Caucasian people in the country. So they're going to still, like in middle America, there's millions of people are in there. A lot of the minorities are in the fringes, like not fringes, but like the outside, right? So they still have to gear a lot of not have to, but they still choose to gear a lot of their entertainment towards them because that's where the money is, right? Right. So, but now we're not stuck with whatever they feed us. Like we can just go and search anywhere else in the world to where we'll be represented properly, or even if, or at least we know that it doesn't have that like bias behind it, that negative bias. Right. No, I hear you. I really like the fact that we have those choices now. Yeah, it's about time. Yeah, and I was going to talk about something else here, but let's cover it. Okay. So recently, I know I was talking about the Instagram post of the winter and everything as well, but a post was also put up saying, or like there was a poll, maybe I could pull it up, where they said these are like the top 10 safest cities in the world. And I think Toronto was like number 2. See, that's the thing. That's a reaction that a lot of people get, where they say, oh, Toronto's not the safest city or second safest city in the world. But like, if you really think about it in general, I'm trying, in general, I feel like this is a safe city. And a lot of people say, oh, look at the shootings that are happening here, the shootings that are happening here. It's like, yeah, but if you compare it to the rest of the world, it's still not that bad. Of course, you have a lot of the like European countries, and of course, and that article that probably came out is very biased, maybe towards like Canadian countries. Maybe it was only for North America, because I'm sure there's a lot of European cities in like the Scandinavian areas where they're super safe.
Yeah.
But if you're talking about North America by itself, I can see how we're in the top 10 at least.
Yeah, you know what? Like, I'm not gonna lie. It's like very, very. I could maybe count on one hand times where I have felt unsafe in my own city. But like, yeah, for the most part, it really depends on your area too, right? Like, obviously, if you're in a high crime area, then you wouldn't consider the city safe because it's all that's your limits, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I would have to agree that within North America,
and think about it,
for being as big of a city that it is, it's not bad.
Yeah, exactly. With the amount of people we have, and like, it's a safe city when they're reporting on every single murder that happens, and they're reporting on like literally on the news the other day. It was like a top story on like 680 News where we were driving of a guy who accidentally rode off a cliff and died.
Oh, that's so sad.
Yeah, or maybe he didn't die. Maybe he got really injured, or I think he died later. But essentially, that was a repeating story on the news of a guy who literally just rode off his bike off a hill, got injured, and died. It's like, that's not something you would hear in some American city somewhere else in North America, right? Or even in South America, I wouldn't even, like, they wouldn't even break the local news or like the local talk.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah. Now that I'm like, at first my reaction was like that because I was thinking of like, remember a couple years ago when there was just like shooting after shooting, like it was bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, now that I think about it, it's pretty safe.
And I think a lot of people try to.
It's not just about shootings too, though. It's also about like, I mean, I don't know how bad this is, but human trafficking is like really picking up. I don't know if it's picking up here.
I'm not saying that this. When I say that this city is safe, like I'm talking in general. Like when you compare it, when you're comparing it to the rest of North America, right?
Yeah.
Like this trafficking happens everywhere, right? It happens all over the world. It's worse in a lot of places, but like if we're talking about in the list of where the worst human trafficking places, I don't think Toronto would hit like top 500. It would be like lower than that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, like. And a lot of people try to what do you call it again? Glorify? Not glorify. Yeah, people try and feel like they live in a place that's harder than it really is. Like, you do it in Scarborough. It's like, yeah, I'm from Scarborough, like
Scarborough.
Yeah, it's like we had tough times, living out here, in the streets, so the hood and everything. And then
Scarborough was the hood once upon a time.
People like to think that, but it's been pretty safe in this neighborhood. I'm just saying.
We're in the suburbs, that's why.
Like, of course, like there's a hood maybe like a block down or anything.
Yeah.
But you're only really going to have any issues if you go there regularly and you're in that area and you're talking to certain people, that kind of thing. But if you're just a regular civilian, for the most part, you're going to be fine. And it's gotten safer since then, right?
Yeah. And I think, there's that whole debate about gun laws and all that, but we're not going to get into that today. Like, that's like a topic for another day. But that might play
and people like to think that's what I feel is a big part of it, where people like to think that, or not like to think, but their immediate reaction is to think, oh no, like because of anecdotal experiences they think that the whole city is like going down the gutter, but really in general it's been getting better every year, and statistics show that the cities and even the world has been technically getting better. Yeah. Oh,
okay. I honestly did not pay attention
but
to that.
It can sound or feel bad because now we have quick access to the information.
Yeah.
Right? So now when something happens, you know about it instantly. The moment, because
people are live streaming.
Yeah, exactly. And these things were happening back in the day, and even at worse magnitudes.
Yeah.
But because there wasn't someone there to film it, there wasn't someone there to report it.
That's why it looks like it's getting it looks like things are escalating or getting worse, but it really isn't. It's just we're just being exposed to what was already happening.
And unfortunately, like, the internet gives voices to everyone. No, not unfortunately, but because the internet gives voices to everyone, unfortunately that means that, and I mean, there's less of a filter. Sorry, I don't know how to. I'm trying to put this together in my head as I'm saying it, but internet, there's less of a filter now, so anyone can kind of say what they want, put their voice out there, and influence people. And
that's true.
Nobody's really looking at their credentials anymore, right? It's like if you sound like you know what you're saying, then people are going to start listening to you. Which
actually, side note, so I never really watched or listened to the news, but this one day I just happened to be listening to 680, and they were saying that YouTube is now going to start filtering out the false, like the videos that spread false information about COVID and the vaccine and all that. And I was like, wow. Yeah,
and there's people on both sides who have opinions about like whether that's a good thing or a bad thing.
I mean, I think it's a good thing, because why would you want to spread false information?
Yeah. And those people who are making those videos be like, it's not false information, this is true. But it's like your facts aren't adding up here, buddy.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, facts are not really, they're not really held to any value these days. People don't care about facts. There's like what they feel.
Whatever makes sense.
Exactly. What they saw on the internet, that kind of thing, right? If you try and look for the 3 sources, which I think is like that's like the rule for reporting stuff. You have to have like 3 proper sources or something like that. Then they're probably not. They're gonna have like one source that comes from like an what's that word when you're not credible?
A discreditable.
Discreditable.
No.
You know what I'm trying to say.
Uncredible.
Yeah.
Uncredited sort. No. What the hell's the word?
We should just end it, man. We're making a little bad.
You know, it's not a credible source. There you go.
Exactly, a not credible source. But yeah, that's a whole other conversation. I don't know about that. Let's end it here before we get ourselves into more trouble. You want to finish it off, or should I finish it off?
You finish it off.
Okay, guys. Thank you again for listening. Thank you again for watching. If you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you go to our YouTube page, Cousin Connection Podcast. You search it on there. Make sure to subscribe, like the videos, leave a comment. We'll respond to you guys as soon as we can on there. And tell your friends and family about this as well.
I was going to say press the little bell thing. Maybe it'll be up here again.
I have the video. I'll show that again.
The little bell.
And if you are listening to this and you want some more context, because I've been trying to step up the editing on here. I put some context behind us so you can listen to it and then come on here to see exactly what we're talking about, especially when we're talking about like family stuff, or not family stuff, sorry, like childhood stories because I do have a lot of footage of this stuff. And let's go on Instagram. On Instagram, you can follow us on Instagram at Cousin Connection Pod. And you can also follow us individually. Follow me at Amir Was Taken.
You can follow me at Ali Sara with 2 underscores.
Yeah. And thanks again, guys. Hopefully you have a good week, and we'll see you next week. Bye.